Belle Meade Bourbon Sherry Finish Review, Flask and Barrel. Belle Meade Bourbon Sherry. Finish is a nuanced and delightful whiskey. It's aging in Oloroso. Sherry casks adds a distinctive character, balancing the traditional bourbon flavors with rich sherry undertones. The nose offers a complex blend of oak, dark fruit, and subtle spice, leading to a palate that reveals layers of brown sugar, cocoa, and fruit. The finish is long and satisfying, with a lingering spice and oak. This bourbon stands out for its excellent balance, full body, and smooth, oily texture. It's a testament to skillful blending and finishing, making it a desirable choice for bourbon enthusiasts. It's going to become increasingly obvious as we delve further into this review, but I really like this whiskey. Belle Meade Bourbon Sherry Finish is an absolute standout, blending classic bourbon goodness with a twist of sherry cask magic. It's got a rich mahogany look that speaks to the depth of flavor waiting inside. Upon opening it up, you'll get a noseful of oak, dark fruit, cocoa, and a sprinkle of baking spice, plus a bit of leather and nuttiness. Tasting it, those flavors get even better, with brown sugar, a touch of pepper, copper, and a hint of vanilla. The finish? It's long, echoing that oak and dark fruit with a nice spice kick. In the following sections, we'll delve into the distillery's background, the specific distillation and aging processes, and offer personal thoughts and recommendations, ensuring a comprehensive understanding of this exceptional bourbon. Distillery. Belle Meade. Bourbon is produced by Nelson's Brier Distillery, situated in Nashville, Tennessee. The distillery has a rich history and a reputation for crafting fine spirits. The Belle Meade line of bourbons, including the sherry finish, is a testament to their dedication to quality and innovation in the whiskey-making process. The distillery blends tradition with modern techniques, creating unique expressions that appeal to a broad range of palates. Their commitment to excellence is evident in the Belle Meade Bourbon Sherry Finish, which is a reflection of their skilled craftsmanship and the rich heritage of Tennessee whiskey making. Distillation and aging. Let's talk about how Belle Meade Bourbon Sherry Finish comes to life. It starts as high-quality bourbon, aged in new charred oak barrels, soaking up all those classic bourbon flavors. But here's the twist. It then gets a stint in ex-Oloroso sherry casks. This is where it picks up its unique character. I'm talking about those rich, dark fruit notes, a hint of nuts, and a bit of spice. It's all natural, no chill filtering, keeping every bit of flavor intact. It's a crafty mix of tradition and innovation, resulting in a bourbon that's almost universally appealing. Not quite making sense? Might be time to learn a bit more about the whiskey distillation process. What does it smell like? Don't know what nosing a whiskey means? Brush up on your whiskey terminology by heading over to our whiskey tasting guide. The first whiff of Belle Meade Bourbon Sherry Finish is hard to accurately put into words. It's kind of oaky, with a side of dark fruits and a sprinkle of cocoa and baking spices. There's also a hint of leather and nuts, adding layers of intrigue. It's rich, inviting, and sets you up for the flavors to come. It's like the bourbon saying, get ready for more. It's a complex and alluring start that makes you want to dive right into tasting. What does it taste like? Taking a sip of this bad boy is a one-way ticket to Flavor Town. The oak and dark fruit from the nose are right there, leading the parade. Then comes the sweet entourage of brown sugar and cocoa, followed by a little spicy entourage of baking spices and a hint of pepper. Vanilla and copper make a cameo, adding a twist to the tale. It's a harmonious mix, full-bodied and deep. Every sip is a new discovery, a blend of familiar and new, making the tasting experience a delightful adventure. What is the aftertaste like? The finish is where this baby really shines. It's long, making those oak and dark fruit flavors linger, with a good dose of spice to keep things interesting. It's like the bourbon's leaving you with a little memento to remember it by. It's warm, inviting, and makes you want to come back for more. It's one of those finishes that reminds you why you love bourbon in the first place. It's rich, it's complex, and it leaves you feeling just right. My personal thoughts. It's up there for me, easily in the top 5 whiskeys I've tried all year. That sherry twist makes it intriguing, and the balance is spot on. It's a bourbon that's got character and charm, perfect for those who love their whiskey with a bit of personality and depth. Flavor profile. Belle Meade Bourbon Sherry. Finish packs a flavor profile that's both familiar and exciting. You've got your classic bourbon elements: oak, dark fruit, cocoa, and spice. But then there's the sherry cask influence, bringing in notes of brown sugar, pepper, and vanilla. It's like a classic tune with a fresh remix. It's full-bodied, rich, and has a luxurious, oily texture. Each sip takes you on a journey through layers of flavor that's both comforting and exciting. It's like having a conversation with an old friend who always has something new to say. Whether you're a bourbon newbie or a seasoned connoisseur, this flavor profile is sure to impress. Who would I recommend it to? I'd recommend Belle Meade Bourbon Sherry Finish to anyone who loves a good story in their glass. If you're into bourbons with a twist, this is your drink. It's perfect for those who appreciate the classic bourbon taste, but are eager to explore something a little different. It's also a great pick for folks who enjoy a rich, flavorful drink that can hold its own, whether it's served neat, on the rocks, or in a fancy cocktail. It's a bourbon that brings something special to the table every time. What is it famous for? While Belle Meade Bourbon Sherry Finish might not be flashing a trophy cabinet, it's earned its stripes in the bourbon world. It's known for blending tradition with innovation, thanks to that sherry cask finish. It's the kind of bourbon that gets talked about for its rich, complex flavors and smooth, sophisticated finish. It's the drink you bring out when you want to impress your friends or savor something a bit out of the ordinary. It's famous for being a well-crafted, high-quality bourbon that stands out in a crowd, making it a favorite among those who like their whiskey with a side of character. How much does it cost? So Belle Meade Bourbon Sherry Finish is playing in the big leagues, priced between $150 to $250. It's a step up, no doubt, but for that dough, you're getting a bourbon that's not just a drink, but an experience. In this range, it's rubbing shoulders with some heavy hitters like Pappy Van Winkle's Family Reserve or the Macallan Aged Scotches. What sets Belle Meade apart in this ritzy crowd is its unique sherry twist, offering a different kind of complexity and richness. It's for those moments when you want to indulge in something extraordinary, a treat that's worth every penny. What's the ABV? Clocking in at 45.2% ABV, Belle Meade Bourbon Sherry. Finish hits that sweet spot, strong enough to make its presence known, but not so strong it overwhelms. It's just right for savoring the complex flavors without getting knocked off your feet. That ABV level makes it versatile, great for sipping neat, with a bit of water, or as the star of a killer cocktail. It's got the strength to stand up to mixers, but the smoothness to be enjoyed on its own.